Hello, my name is Alaric. When I was born, I was 6'1". I weighed 205 pounds. I ran a sub 540 and I could bench 225 pounds about 5 times. And so when my dad saw me, he said, "That's an athlete." And he started training me and my brother at the ages of 5 and 6 in football, basketball, and baseball. And his lessons worked. I became a Hall of Fame basketball player at Belmont, and my brother went on to play for Satan's favorite college football team, the Florida Gators, and he went on to the NFL. Fast forward 30 years later, and I was diagnosed with end-stage liver disease, and I was given a 72% chance of dying in 3 months. Fast forward from that moment until today, and I'm completely healthy except for my feet, normal lifespan. So what happened between that time I was diagnosed and today, if I could sum it up in 2 words, is I fought. I fought against doctors' opinions. I fought against 8 different types of diseases, including brain damage and not being able to eat. I fought against 4 months in a wheelchair. I fought against 3 months in the hospital. I fought against depression, addiction, shame, anxiety. I fought against 20 doctors telling me I'd be dead within 2 years. And so 18 months ago, when a doctor called me and told me that my liver regenerated and that I was healed and completely healthy, after I did this, when I analyzed how I was able to overcome all those things, it was shocking to me that it wasn't what my mom taught me, as much as I love her. It wasn't what I learned at my Christian school. It wasn't what I learned in Bible study. It's what my dad taught me on the football field and on the basketball court. And not only that, but I found that these were the same type of principles that God is teaching all of us to overcome all of our situations, all of our trials, and become who He designed us to be. So I wrote a book called Dad Gospels, and in that book, it's a lot of stories about me and my dad and my brother and our football and basketball and coaching adventures, and also some heartbreaking stories too. And I align those with stories in the Bible to pull out biblical principles that are applicable to all of us. And I've been going around sharing my testimony to different groups in the community, telling my testimony. I've been giving a free book to anyone who wants one. I think books can transform lives. God wrote one. I would not know where I would be without some of the books I've read, like C.S. Lewis's Great Divorce and John Piper's Christian Hedonism, and this book has already helped a lot of people. One of the communities I target is the African American community, and I speak to as many youth groups as I possibly can and as many coaches as I possibly can. We all know the disparate statistics in some parts of the African American community, and it really doesn't matter whose fault it is. They only have one life, and I go in there and my message is simple, that the one in them is able to overcome their circumstances, that their circumstances are not greater than what David faced when he faced Goliath, or what Moses had to deal with when he went up against Pharaoh.
Help Daniel get out the lion's den.
Or what Gideon had to deal with when he went up against 100,000 soldiers with nothing but 300 trumpets and 300 flashlights. That whatever power that they had to overcome their situations, we all have the same power to overcome ours. And I'll also go and tell these coaches that they're doing more than just coaching the X's and O's, that they're actually transforming lives, that they are heaven's ambassadors and their spiritual guides. And so I'm looking for people to partner with me and being able to give a book away to anyone who actually wants it. When Jesus went up to heaven, his last words were basically, take the good news of my love around the world. And I don't see how we can possibly do that if we're not taking it to the communities in our cities and in our country. I am trying to take the gospel of God's love into some dark places. And we know that government funding does not help these dark places. We know that political parties don't. We know that bromides don't. The only thing that conquers darkness is light. The only thing that cures hopelessness is hope. And the only thing that never fails is God's love. And realistically speaking, a lot of these kids are not going to be walking into church. A lot of these individuals are not going to be walking into church. They're probably not going to listen to a pastor, but they might listen to
Bald, black, and beautiful protagonist.
So if you feel led, I am asking people to partner with me as I go into these communities and share God's love and share the impossibility of his power to help them overcome whatever it is placed before them so that they can go on and be whatever they desire to be and change generations. But if you don't feel led to do that, I do encourage you to find an evangelistic ministry outside the four walls of your church in your city and partner with them. It first says in 1 John 2:6 that if we claim to love Jesus, if we claim to live in Jesus, if we claim to want to be with him one day, then we must walk as he did. And we know from the Bible, Jesus always left those who are found to go after those who are lost. And hopefully we should all do the same thing.